Yeah. All right, we're official now. 30-second countdown. So you're located where, in Canada?
Yeah, in Calgary, Canada.
Canada. Oh God.
Yeah.
I
Where are
keep.
you?
I'm here in North Carolina. I keep landing so many people from Canada.
Well, we're pretty
Actually, that's
cool.
a foundation
So,
stone early on when I was just doing audio only. Um, so basically, I wrote the little text up and all that cool stuff. And in your case, I chose this quote, which I think will lead into you sharing about yourself and all that great stuff. Um, and I'm gonna find the sharing button so I can go ahead and blast it over to the Facebook side as you share. But the quote that I pulled up in my research was this, and you can see it in the text, emails, and stuff I sent you, which is that sometimes the internet can feel like a middle school playground, populated by brats and ski masks who name call and taunt with fake bravery of the anonymous. But sometimes, thank goodness, it's nicer than real life. Quote by Susan Orlean. And the part that
mhm.
drew me into what you were talking about with your app was the bully, brats, and ski mask part, because we're
Yes.
all heroes behind the internet. And from there, I'm gonna
Hmm.
let you share, talk, and I'll find that magical share and link button and send it over to my Facebook page, which I have more people there than anywhere else.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, that's exactly it. The internet can be a ruthless place. And this app really aims to address that, change the way that social media has been going. We kind of brand ourselves as the world's first anti-social app for that
Mm-hmm.
reason, is that you aren't going to get that same interaction with people, and no one's going to come at you. No one's going to attack you and make you feel worse for just saying what's on your mind. We want people to feel comfortable to express themselves in their moments of vulnerability, feeling safe without any judgment or fear. Because, yeah, when you put yourself out there and you open up in a public platform with your face and your name, you can be sure it doesn't matter what you're talking about, someone's going to argue. They're going to argue that the sky is blue, because that's the way the internet works. And it's ruthless, and it often leaves you feeling worse and less open to communicating, which is so bad for you personally.
Yeah. And in this age of bots, you don't know who's real or who's not sometimes. So the
Totally.
anonymous goes to a whole different level versus
Yes.
face to face like we're doing now. And we are streaming by means of Facebook. I'm looking at my other screen. Uh, so I understand the concept behind it and why you wanted to do this. But as far as the empowerment part, the personal empowerment part that it gives to people, this app, and I get all the links typed in so people can find it and all that cool stuff. Um,
Yeah.
why do you really believe that this, with the zillions of apps out there and chat rooms
Mhm.
we can go to, we how is that first of all proven empowering to you? And why do you believe from your own personal experience that others should tap into it, even on a random basis? Like myself, I wouldn't be wanting to go all the time, but I may need it from time to time to, vent.
Exactly. And that's just it. We all are very busy. We live busy lives, intricate lives. We don't need one more thing. I want this to come across as a tool, a space
Okay.
that exists when you need it, when emotions are high, when you just need to move that energy, because we are all human. And in the human experience, we have challenging moments, frustrating moments, self doubt, vulnerability, especially in parenting, which is where this idea really started with, was for mothers and fathers to express some of those moments where you don't even mean it half the time. You're just so overstimulated and overwhelmed, and you just need to say what's on your mind because you are in fight or flight. And then it just expanded because you realize there's not a single person alive that would not and could not
What happened to my
benefit
sound?
from
Oh, there you
expressing
back.
where they are.
Mm-hmm.
So we're good.
We're good. It bleeped out for a
Okay.
second, but we're good.
Okay.
So
So
I
I
get on
know
the
it
mute
works.
side on Facebook.
Oh, shoot. No.
Yeah, we're
Um,
good.
okay.
So
I know it works.
directly into the parenting aspect of it. So was that one of the primary reasons why you decided to do this app?
So I had been in my season of life right now, I have 3 young kids, and at the
Mhm,
time, this idea came to me in a dream in March
mhm,
last year. And I'd been kind of asking the universe, like, I really want to help people. I know that if I have these challenging moments, I know other people are too. And we just don't feel safe turning to other people. Like, not everyone has that actually solid, trustworthy best friend that you can be completely vulnerable with. Most of the time, people will hang on to that information. They will judge you to some degree. They won't forget what you tell them, especially in, like, a relationship. If you get
mhm,
into a disagreement with your partner, you tell someone that outside voice, they're never going to forget it, but you and your partner will resolve that and move on. And maybe you didn't even mean it, the things you said, like, I don't even want to be married anymore, but you were just frustrated. And
mhm,
then you say that to an outside source, and they're going to say, "Whoa," they might judge you, their reaction might offend you, it might make you feel worse, when really you just needed to feel heard. So in this busy season of my life, having 3 little kids and being there being a lot of activity and a lot of stimulation, I was like, sometimes I just need to say, like, I remember my dogs were old at the time too, and they were causing messes and they were up in the night and they were, just kind of the straw that broke the camel's back.
mhm.
And I remember thinking, like, I wish my dogs would die. And that's
Mm,
terrible. And you can't say that to anybody. You say that
mhm,
to anybody, they're gonna go, "What? That's
mhm,
horrible. You're heartless. How dare you? You're so lucky to have them and give them to someone that will love them then." I love my dogs. They've been my best friends for 15 years. They were
mhm.
with me when no one else was. But in that moment, I'm not upset with my dogs. I'm upset with yet another demand on me. I'm upset that I can't rest, that I have all these people to care for, that it's a constant stream of work in my life and very little excitement or joy with kids and animals. And so, who can I say that to that's not going to judge me? No one. But if I hang on to that and I think to myself, I wish my dogs would die, and then I carry that around, I'm going to start thinking, well, I'm a pretty terrible person if I feel that way. And what's wrong with me? No one else feels this way. And there's all this guilt and shame that's building from a single thought that only happened because I was wildly overwhelmed. And
Mhm.
so if I was able just to move that, to put that thought somewhere, and it works, it's incredible. If you use this app, it's kind of like modern journaling in a way that once
That's
you.
how you're gonna get at. Isn't it sort of journaling on steroids, so to speak?
Oh, I like that. Yes, it is fast, it is quick, it is immediate, and it has all the same benefits. We know that journaling has been therapeutic for decades now
Mhm,
because the art of writing it out is healing in itself. And sometimes you just need to do that. So just typing out a heavy thought like that, like, I don't want to be married anymore. I wish I never became a mother. I wish my dogs would die. Typing it out is moving that energy so you stop carrying it around. And in a forum like this with no usernames, no one will ever know it's you. It's 100% anonymous, and there's no user interaction. No likes, no comments. Because if you said that on any other platform, you're going to get a plethora of responses that are going to be very hostile, very
So what then
judgmental.
isn't how is it really different from journaling? I mean, if you journal, it's private, it's personal, it's you.
Yeah, well,
What?
this one, no one will ever know it's you. Your little sibling or your partner's not going to
Mhm.
find it. That's for one. And you don't
Okay,
have to wait till the end of the day, till you sit down and you
okay.
have that moment. Because quite often, by the time you get to sit down and journal, you've already picked up so much throughout the day. You're tired, you're tapped, you don't want to revisit
Mhm,
it. This is in the moment. So you're at work, you're in line at the grocery store, you're with your kids, you're anywhere and everywhere. It
mhm.
takes 3 seconds to open it up and just to say it so you don't have to carry it anymore.
Okay.
So it's faster, it's quicker.
Okay, so in that sense then, basically, instead of aimlessly scrolling on some social media site, you're taking that 30 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever time it takes, or maybe and just type that out and then you move on.
Exactly.
Okay.
Someone's making you nuts the way they're driving in front of you. You pull over, you're safe, you're in the parking lot, you just let them have it. Your boss just pissed you off, you just let them have it in the app. You can
Mm-hmm.
say whatever you want in there. I will say there are some language filters, so we want it to stay a
Mm-hmm.
safe place. So
Mm-hmm.
common swears, anything
Right.
derogatory, we
Right.
try to ban that as best as we can. But otherwise, it's fair game, and it's just for you in those moments to fully express
Just
yourself. Because, like you
for
said,
you.
mindless scrolling, what are we doing? We're just avoiding ourselves. We're
Mm-hmm.
avoiding thinking about what's been on our mind. We're numbing out. We're escaping from our lives. And that is the furthest thing from emotional healing and emotional development that we need to be doing. What we need to be doing is getting in the nitty gritty and not being scared of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Get me thinking.
Hmm.
With my gazillion apps I got on my phone, I may have to do that like I do some other apps. Put it on, detox, uninstall it, reinstall it. Because I do that with other apps I have there that like it's just taking up space, but when I need it, I use it.
Yes.
And I guess in this case here though, if someone follows that process, the thoughts they put there will be, do they have to recreate a new account each time, or will the account still be there?
So you actually don't create an account. We don't
You
even want to
don't?
know your name. We don't want to know where you're from. We don't want to know
Okay.
your age, none of your background. You just sign up with any random email and
Okay.
that's it. And then you get a verification code to that random email and you're in, because we want people to feel as anonymous and safe as possible. So
Okay.
we don't want to know anything about you.
Okay. That's why I was kind of wondering, like, because like some apps, even like using StreamYard, I save the information to log in.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is definitely went. I didn't see it going this way. I was looking for more of a techie talk than the human side of the
Oh.
conversation. Yeah, that's way of. So will I go back to the quote I tied in with it?
Mhm.
You've basically created a middle school playground where bullies can't really touch a person. Like they could on Instagram, Facebook, some other
Mhm.
website. So unlike saying safe playing field, you create a safe. You create it by means of an app, a playground. This base that is many ways. I can't say I'm fully
Yeah.
convinced it's 100%, but right now, but in many ways, bully free, unless you bully yourself, unless you
Pretty
put yourself
much.
down.
I mean, there is no way to directly interact with
Right, no way to
anybody.
interact, but unless you do it to
So,
yourself, unless you feed some of that into your own negativity. Like I'm feeling crap. Go ahead, I'm listening.
but that's just it. When you're feeling like that, when you're a bully to yourself, that's when you need this app more than
Okay.
anything, because you need to work that through. And we're talking about self expression. And self expression is about what it feels like to live, to be
Hmm.
human. It is not whether you are justified in those thoughts and feelings. It
Okay.
doesn't matter if you are right or wrong to be upset or frustrated or offended or overwhelmed. The whole point is that you felt one of those feelings, and that's when you need to move it, because if you don't, you'll just carry it and you'll get heavier and heavier, and the guilt and shame will build, and then you're going to be an even bigger bully to yourself.
Okay. That's the. This is also part of the reason I wanted you to come on and explain all the aspects of it. Um, because some of the things sometimes people may say, and I haven't seen in the comments pop up yet. Well, you can do that without an app. If someone's watching this now, it's because of an app.
you
So,
you actually you
so
can't
really,
do this.
so we can't live. But a majority of us cannot live any single day without touching an app in some capacity, whether it's driving, whether it's shopping, whether it's ordering food. We're in that time and
Yes.
space where we live in that alternate yet present reality by means of an app. And out, oh wow, you get me thinking. Because I like finding analogies. Okay, so in this case, something I can't really explain is I try to explain to people because the only way to really explain it would be to go to Amazon and read the product descriptions. But we don't have random conversations about what I'm about to mention. I'm like, I ain't going to Amazon and read this those new portable air compressors that people can buy to inflate their tires.
Okay.
A little black box. You plug it in the USB port and recharge it. There's no air cylinder. There's none of that stuff in there. And yet somehow this thing, you put it on your tire, it goes flat, and it inflates the tire. And I don't know the technology behind it, but I'm bringing that in this conversation in the context of when you say air out, this device that has no physical air in my mind inside of it is able to air in a flat tire. This app, which is a piece of technology, in many
Mhm.
ways are able to let us as individuals, so I'm being kind of nerdy here, to
Yeah.
air out by means of a piece of a device of a piece of technology. I say technology. I, uh,
Yeah.
I can't even know what real app say you define them of an app. I'll keep it simple. I'm not a tech person. This allows us to, like that compressor, a medium that is being created and designed to
Mm.
release the emotional, the mental, the spiritual frustrations we may have, because it in itself is just a device in some senses. Like that device, I think I'm breaking it down in layman terms the best I can break it down. Like that compressor, I hear the noise, I hear it doing this thing, I see the digital
Mhm.
screen, but yet I know when you go to a gas station, we don't have gas stations now. They go to some whatever. There's an air
Mhm.
pump. You know it's literally pumping air. This is not. But this case here, this app is literally pumping air into our being, life into us. So it's something we have on our phone or laptop. Am I?
Well, yeah, this
I
is a good
guess
analogy because
I'm trying to make it as like it's hard to wrap my head around it because everything else you interact with people.
the the proof would be like the air compressor or this in using it. It may not make sense by just looking at it, but you
Right.
actually have to use it to feel it. So that's the idea, is to use this app. People actually love to go on there. I get a lot of feedback. They love to read the comments. There's 6 different spaces: moms, dads,
Mhm.
love, work, vent, and
Yeah.
brag about the good
Yeah,
stuff,
I
about
guess
how,
it's good to
how
go back.
good
You
you
left
look
it
today.
limited. You limited it down to a specific number of spaces, so people can't be all over everywhere, every topic, everything.
Well,
So
everything in life would fall under one of those
in some
categories.
capacities, yeah.
Yes.
In some
Uh,
capacity, yeah.
so divinely done, and the mom and dads is not just for moms and dads, it's for anybody that
Right.
has a mom and a dad. We're
Right.
talking intergenerational. But the point is, so while it's fun to read it and people say they feel like they're actually understood and they feel like they have the sense of community and they didn't realize that other people felt this way, and maybe there's someone else that's feeling this
That's a
frustrated with their
big one
kids
right
and their
there.
pets,
That's,
and
you
they
said
read
sense of
that.
community without being in community.
Exactly, and it's safe because you get to read it, you get to go, "Oh, wow, people do relate to me in my toughest moments," and no one's gonna fire back because no one can say anything.
Mm.
So the actual magic is in using it, and I encourage people just to try it. You can download it for free. Try it. Once you start to open up, you will feel that relief. Pay attention to your body when you write it out and you hit send and you watch it go into this void. It's kind of like old school internet, just black, white scroll,
Yeah.
no identifying
Okay.
factors, and feel the weight off,
Yeah.
because most of the time we don't want advice. We don't want the conversation. We just want to feel heard. We just want to say the thing, as terrible as it might be, and just have it be okay. We need a tough moment just to be okay, just so we can move on. We don't need the banter. We don't need the back and forth. And even on a website like Reddit, which is great, it's anonymous, but you
Mhm.
post something, you're going to get hundreds of responses that
Mhm.
most of the time are going to make you feel worse. So there
Yeah,
are
I don't do Reddit.
plenty.
I looked over there enough, not even for my own self, and I'm like, ew, really?
It's toxic, and there are so many platforms. If you do want that back and forth and you want feedback, great, use one of those. But this is for those moments when you know you don't care at all what anyone has to say, that you don't want the feedback, you don't want to hear what people are judging you about or resenting you about or think what you're wrong for. You just need to say it, and
You say,
that's what this is for.
okay, let me hold on. Let me get over here and let me get over here and like see what space box I may have free. So I was about to use that tribal app, supposed to be the Facebook replacement, TikTok replacement. However, it's no longer available in the United States. I just found out this morning. So I
Oh,
uninstalled it. So that leaves one little spot for me to put the air out on that little spot where that used to sit. And I'm gonna put it up here.
okay,
Actually,
yeah.
I'm gonna start downloading it now while we talk.
Yeah,
I mean, I downloaded it before. I'm gonna do it again and I'll move it over there in that space. And uh, see my poor typing in my phone, but it's okay. It's not. I'm not doing something that anyone else hasn't done. But I don't need the round app. I need the air.
and I want to say too, while you're downloading and we're discussing here, that
Yeah.
the power for men to start using this too. We're talking about this huge swing in society with men becoming more in touch with their emotional development and their vulnerabilities. But being vulnerable can be super hard. And that is where people get stuck. You may want to open up, but the fear prevents you from doing so until you've crafted a censored and safe version of your problem in your mind that you might open up. Well, this is the perfect place because it's anonymous. And when it's completely anonymous, it's an even playing field. It doesn't matter. We'll never, ever know if you are 20 or 70, if you're American, Canadian, if you make $10 an hour, if you make 1,000 an hour. None of that is relevant. The only thing that's relevant is the human experience. And you realize how unoriginal a lot of us are, and that the thoughts we have, the heavy thoughts, the strong feelings that we get, those are just reactions with a complex emotional body and a mind trying to make sense of our state. It's not actually you. And so it's really cool to see that. And I hope that being anonymous, that men can open up. And we see a lot of guys there now,
Yeah, that's a biggie. I've talked about that before. I probably
yeah,
talked about it numerous times in different app podcasts. And that we as men, we have a tough time in that. A really tough time. And we may open up fine to our guys, our boys, our friends, but some of the things we just don't do. And when we finally do open up, we explode with it. I think that's the right word. We explode verbally. We just out there speaking thought all those things because it's been pent up inside of us for so long. I've got the app downloaded.
exactly. Because it's all compressed, and you can only, if you use the analogy of someone asking you to hold something, right, and then they hand you something else and they hand you something else, you can only hold so many things until you start to get angry and you slam it on the ground and you have
Mm-hmm.
this huge reaction. If you think about thoughts in that same way, you have a bad thought, someone hands it to you, you can hang on to it and it's going to get heavier and annoying, or you can just push it down the line onto the
Mm-hmm.
app and move on. So it's kind of like a conveyor belt in that sense, where you want to keep things moving. So it's about checking in with yourself often and expressing it often, so you don't have those huge moments of explosion, because you're watching yourself throughout your day, you're processing as things come up.
And that's one thing I can only speak for myself, but it could be common that we watch ourselves sometimes more than we think others are watching us. And then it's
Mhm.
doing what you're saying. It's compressing, it's compounding, it's life.
Yeah.
We are allowing life to do those things without having, which, as you said, that release resource.
And
Um,
that's all it takes. It's so simple, but it's so effective. And I know
well,
my
I guess I'll
husband
be
has said
finding
to
out
me,
shortly because I get it on my phone.
and my husband has said to me, in parenting, like, he doesn't feel like he has a voice. He feels like his needs come last and that he
Mm,
doesn't have a place to complain next to mothers or primary
mhm,
caregivers. So he often just doesn't voice what he's feeling, even though he's carrying a lot himself too, because he doesn't feel he has a place, that it will be met with
mhm,
the right space, the right reaction. And so he just bottles it in. But then you have a space like this where you can actually let it out. So there are men on there talking about generational healing, talking about how they can't wait to be dads, but their partners don't want kids, talking about how their relationships with their wives have changed since having families. And the
mhm,
career too, about being handcuffed to a job, the pressures of being if in some homes, like the primary earner for that family, and then trying to be emotionally available for kids in a way that they were never learned or they were never taught from their dads. So there's all these complexities without feeling like they have space to say it. And so it's so powerful for everybody because, yes, we have different roles and we have different family structures, but we all have these moments of insecurity and doubt and frustration and being overwhelmed. And that's the part that we just need to tap into.
Okay,
Because if
now,
we process it, we're going to show up for the other people in our lives in a completely different way.
so all that being said, I'm just gonna state some things, and what I'm about, and the things, things. Here I go. Those of you who will catch this on the audio form, on the video form, on the YouTube channel, wherever you catch this episode, which I have gloriously entitled, and I had to shorten the title so I could scream, y'all, are anonymous online spaces possible? That's the question I pose in the title for this episode, this podcast episode of Life is More Than Living. As I take a deep breath myself and pause in this, give this app a try. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
Yeah,
I'm
delete
saying
it.
it
Move on.
and delete and move on. However, I I I recently have had the journal app on my phone. It came with my iPhone, and one for all I've heard today, I am firmly convinced that this app will be better for you, my listeners, my viewers, my Facebook followers, whomever you are out there in cyberspace land. It will be better for you as it will be better for me in the context of everything that Courtney has shared. We can pause for 30 seconds, 10 seconds, and release by means of air out. And here's why I'm gonna challenge you on, because I'm one who constantly am faced and come to old school mindset of setting expectations. Try not to set an expectation like this is gonna change you drastically. It's my challenge. To challenge yourself to not allow you, if you're a person who believes in expectations, to say, well, I didn't get this out of that, and the app is crap. Set no expectation other than I have a medium to release for 30 seconds, a minute, whatever long it takes you to type. I type longhand and take me longer. Um, and let it go. And let the universe, let God, however your faith dynamic is, utilize this, help you to use this resource to become a better person. There are areas I know I can use it for because I've done the journaling thing. The journaling thing, I did it on a schedule. So some mornings I write at 6:30 or 7 o'clock. But I'm actually finding myself creating content versus releasing because I'm not feeling those things right then. but
Exactly. Yes.
I'm set, or set, or people. Some people set later in the evening before they go to bed. According to what Courtney has shared with us and her perspectives, if you do it in a real time moment, then you're actually releasing something.
Mhm.
You can always journal and chronicle your day before, after, in the middle. But in that moment, I like what she said. If you're traveling down the interstate or the roadway, find a safe space to pull over and let it go. Then, uh,
Mhm.
someone may say, "Well, Alfred, you weren't really paying attention. You're all over the place today." Yes, I was, because this very topic is something I see value in myself. I believe you should see value in it. And I went in the app store and I saw the ratings and all this other cool stuff. Ignore whatever you may see. I'm not saying it because it's a bad thing. I have gotten bad ratings about the pot app, most of the apps I use, and those apps have been the best apps I ever used. I've gotten great ratings, and they weren't so much, but they weren't tailored to what this app is tailored to. It's tailored to releasing something, pausing for a moment. They often said, take a deep breath and let it go. Take a deep breath and tight and let it go. That's my
Yes.
own.
Don't think about what the app is going to do for you or transform your life. It's a tool.
It's
That's
a
all it
tool. That's
is
exactly it.
for you
You
to be closer to who you authentically are so
in
you
that
can
moment.
feel better. Yes.
In that moment. Wow. That I'm gonna wrap this up. I set a 3 hour window because the longest episode I ever done was like an hour and a half, and that was audio only. I give people a 2 to 3 hour window so we can get in, do it, hit the bullet points, talk freely, and if and when the audience starts growing, because I'm gonna say this, and I'm not gonna get further distracted. I'm shifting my guest spots after July to like 7 p.m. because 7 p.m. Eastern time there are more people perusing apps or whether it's Spotify, whatever, Podbean, whatever for content, and live streams as well. So those who catch this today, the announcement is this. I'm moving it, all the guest spots later. I'm gonna finish up my list now through June or July. 'Cause I didn't believe in my heart of hearts that once I went back to Matchmaker FM, which is how I met Courtney, that it would explode. The, mm, the number of requests I receive this time, being more formatted, more structured, is 100-fold than what I did the first time using this service.
Mm-hmm.
And the people I've had up here have been amazing. Courtney has been amazing. I am not a tech person. I use a tire inflator to try to use a comparison for this app. Okay.
To be fair, I'm not a tech person either. I never saw my life taking this turn, but sometimes, there's a
But
bigger picture, there's a bigger
but in
plan.
this day and age, turning to first identifying a need within yourself before then identifying a need in the community. This app serves a
Yeah.
purpose. It serves a grand purpose. And
Yeah.
thank you, Courtney, for coming on. Uh, my book, Split Souls of Transition, I'm going to put that out there because I've been neglecting my own product in all these episodes.
Yeah.
Those of you who have not read my book, checked out my book, Split Souls of Transition. It's a poetic collection. God, I'm flabbing and blabbing and talking today like, wow, I had a long day. But all said in the Split Souls, it's not just a poetry collection. It chronicles real life events and real life stories of people. And it has healing resources in the paperback version of it. I strongly suggest for anyone to benefit to go to Spotify, find it, check it out, listen to it, or buy it here as an audiobook. I say this because everything I wrote about in Split, minus the autobiography part, the people are anonymous.
Mm.
The autobiography part, I named names and called out people in my past, but the poems are based in real life events of anonymous people who shared their stories with me, and I made no effort to track them down, but their stories had to be told. And I say this because this is what this app here in similar ways. Air Out gives you the opportunity to be heard anonymously, like the poems in my
Yeah.
book. They will tell your story instead of someone else telling your story. You can release your story. And Jim down the road, or Steve, or Karen, or Mary Ann, or Sue, whoever is up here on Air Out, they see that comment, like she said, wow, that's me. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
So get the app. If nothing else, get it because there are really people, 7 to 8 billion people, someone can relate. And this app is
Yes.
definitely needed.
I
In
just want to
addition to
say
checking out my
you
book.
deserve to feel better. People deserve to feel better, and that's all this is. And
Yeah.
you know the power of that through writing. Expression is everything. If you want to feel better, you have to get closer to who you are, and that starts with clearing out the emotional and mental clutter that you're carrying around. Plain and simple.
Simple. And writing has always been since the beginning of writing itself, however long ago that was, a way of us expressing ourselves. Only now, this era here we're living in, writing is definitely therapeutic. As she just broke out simply, and I ain't gonna try to repeat what she said. She said it better than I can. She understands the app and how it works. And I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna wrap it up with this quote again. It says towards the end, after speaking about the brats and the ski mask who name call and taunt with fake bravery of the anonymous. It says simply this, but sometimes, thank goodness, it's nicer than real life. This app allows you and I to sometimes have a space that's nicer than the real life experience we're in that moment. That's what I've heard her say today. You can go in, air out, and for a few moments have a nicer space that you were in before you're using the app and come out a better person.
Leave the stuff that doesn't make you feel good behind.
Yeah,
Just leave
leave
it.
behind. Uh, Courtney, I definitely appreciate you coming up here today. I'm glad you took this bold endeavor and created this app for us. I ain't say for me, not for you, for us. Anyone who wants this platform or willing to try it out.
Thank
I,
you very much. This
you're
has been a
welcome.
wonderful chat, and I really
Thank you.
appreciate your thoughtful questions and
You
conversation.
got me kind of somber right now because you're taking me back to the overall theme behind the name of the podcast. Life is about more than living. I struggle with remembering that some days. Speaking with you today has reminded me that life can be about more than living if we have a safer, anonymous space to go to. And in that
Mhm.
space, we're not worried about nobody hearing us other than our own heartbeat, our own selves. So thank you, Courtney.
Thank you.
And once I log off, I'll say it as I've said in notes and messages, and I said to every one of my guests, I'm gonna take a time to download it, upload it to YouTube and other. It's already on Facebook being saved. We had a one viewer pop on. This is kind of a bad day for people. Time of day. That's why I'm doing it later. The point is, it's on Facebook. It will be on my Facebook page. Um, it's gonna be on YouTube. Audio version will be on Podbean. I stopped streaming through my app Podbean service because no one wants to download a new app in that context. So I take all this and upload audio and video. You will have the links to share, use, whatever. Definitely through YouTube because, hey, podcast the dude who's been told for 3 years almost you should do YouTube. I'm not doing YouTube because of this. So
That's
it'll
good.
be streaming on YouTube in the next 15, 20 minutes.
Awesome.
And
That's great.
I have it set up on my Linktree. My Linktree page automatically updates all the YouTube stuff. So my last guest we pushed off, you will be pushed on until my next guest comes on. So when someone clicks my QR code out and about or whatever, I'll follow my Linktree page, they will see this conversation. And they will also have access to YouTube all the conversation. Uh, yeah, I'm talking with my hands a lot today. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. You have been an amazing guest today. And you've inspired me to try out other people who are using technology to make our world a better place.
Oh, well,
You
thank
renewed
you.
my faith that we can do this. I can do this. That I can do this in the sense of technology doesn't be tech talk. Technology can be human talk. Now it's human talk.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. I'm hitting the end screen button, and you have an
All right.
amazing evening. And what time is it in Canada? About the same time.
2:10 in the afternoon.
So you guys are 2 hours behind us. You're like Tennessee. Tennessee is 2 hours behind us. All right.
Okay.
You have a great evening, good afternoon.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. I have been the parent of little kids. My kids are in their 30s, so I can only remember how it's like. I don't want to go
Yeah.
back though. But
It's
anyway,
a
thank you again.
beautiful, wonderful, challenging, but rewarding time, and
And
all
then you want
feelings
them
come.
adults and gone
Yeah.
to experience what you experience.
It's a journey, yeah.
We'll have to come back and talk about parenting one day from the aspect of the deeper parts of the app. I don't know, but yeah, it's a journey. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thanks,
Goodbye.
you too. Take care.